Back from D.C. with Buck Martinez, Matt Vasgersian, and right to A.J. Hinch's starting lineup card for Game 5 of the Fall Classic this year. He'll lead it off the same way he has throughout the series with Springer, Altuve, and Brantley. Alex Bregman set a World Series record for RBIs in a single game by a third baseman last night with 5 driven, and Gurriel and Alvarez follow. Yordan Alvarez making his first start in D.C. in this portion of the series. He's only appeared in the outfield 9 times during the regular season. It'll be Correa, Maldonado, and Cole to round it out. And it's time for Joe Ross to take the ball, something he didn't think he'd be doing a few days ago.
No, not at all. He's a 26-year-old right-hander, former #1 pick of the San Diego Padres. He came in a trade along with Trey Turner from San Diego. He has thrown the ball well in this series. He came in relief in Game 3. 2 real good innings. He just no runs on 1 hit, and he's got a good fastball. But the key for him, he's got to get ahead with that fastball to really neutralize this potent lineup.
Springer, Altuve, and Brantley in Game 5 is underway with a strike. In a World Series that has seen a number of new Fall Classic records set, it's been a while since one team has used as many as 5 starters in a World Series. Got to go back to the 1980 Phillies to find the last time that took place, and Joe Ross making 5 starters in 5 games on the mound for the Nationals tonight.
Patrick Corbin started, went 6 innings in the game last night, and he really jumped on Corbin early in this game. Very aggressive. They had 4 consecutive hits, all coming with 1 out in the first, and they scored a couple of runs. This is a good 2-seam fastball right here that jams George Springer.
If we thought this place was electric for Games 3 and 4, this switch to Joe Ross has really energized the fan base here as they're doing their best to empower a 26-year-old without a lot of big game experience.
You had mentioned that when Joe Ross came out of the Nationals dugout and went toward the bullpen to get ready to warm up, the crowd stood on his feet and gave him a terrific round of applause. And they're really behind this team right now, even though they have lost the 2 games here in Washington.
2 balls and 2 strikes is the count to George Springer. An unseasonably mild evening yet again in our nation's capital. 72 degrees. It was shirt sleeves and shorts throughout the afternoon, and barely a need for a jacket tonight. Just a gorgeous evening for baseball. The 2-2.
Now you can see that Springer's late on that fastball, so Ross's fastball, a little play, and he's been able to get it in the strike zone early in this at-bat. There are no restrictions on innings or pitch count for him. He made 8 starts from the 2nd of August to the end of the season, so they're confident as long as he's effective, they'll stay with him.
The 2-2 home. And it'll go all the way to a full count. Remember how the night started yesterday for Patrick Corbin with an 8-pitch at bat. Jose Altuve next.
Springer was called out on strikes to start that inning, and then the roof caved in on Corbin. 4 straight hits and a couple of runs for Houston.
He's got a sign from Gomes. Here's the 3-2 home, and it's rocketed foul. You know, you saw the numbers on Joe Ross just a moment ago. 9 starting assignments this year. He's made a total of 12 starts in the last 2 seasons. The small total in part due to recovering from Tommy John surgery. Much of last year, he had that procedure in July of 2017. Most of his appearances this year have come in relief. Wow, and he just misses to George Springer.
Boy, that's a good pitch just off the outside corner. The strike zone in this series, especially here in Washington, has been very tight strike zone. That ball looked like it passed through the strike zone at some point there. Yan Gomes receives it just off the plate. Home plate umpire Lance Barksdale calling balls and strikes tonight.
Gary Soderstrom, the crew chief who had the plate for Game 3, is up the left field line tonight. And again, the veteran Lance Barksdale behind the plate. So the leadoff walk brings up Jose Altuve. 2 more hits for Altuve yesterday, making him 8 for 20 in 4 World Series games so far this year. First pitch ground ball for Turner. Taylor made for 2.
That'll let everybody breathe in this ballpark. A double play, and they get Altuve. He goes after that first pitch, and it's a tailor-made double play ball to the shortstop. Boy, after leadoff walk, this is a terrific play for the Nationals. No problem at all. Turner with a nice flip to Howie Kendrick, who's starting at second base, and they retire Altuve on the double play. Boy, that will really allow a pitcher to settle in the first inning. A walk and a double play. Now you're facing the toughest hitter in this lineup so far in this series, and Michael Brantley with nobody on him.
8 for 17, a couple of runs batted in for the veteran left-handed hitter and 4-time All-Star. It is as tough a top of a lineup as there is in baseball. Evidenced by the fact that Brantley, Springer, and Altuve are the only Astros in franchise history to record 3 straight multi-hit games within a single World Series.
Michael Brantley, just one of the best hitters in all of baseball year after year. He's got a great approach to play. Not a whole lot of movement. He never really commits early. He's anxious to target the middle of the diamond. He's going to stay up the big part of the field. 8 hits in the first 4 games.
Been almost 20 years since Todd Zeile accomplished that with the 2000 Mets in their World Series loss to the Yankees. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Michael Brantley. Part of the reason that the Nationals are confident in Joe Ross is that now that he's healthy and recovered from Tommy John surgery, full 2 years away from that date, he had a really good run at the end of the year. The problem is he just didn't pitch a lot from the end of the year to today. 1 outing in a month, the 2 scoreless innings Friday in Game 3. Two balls and 2 strikes.
You know, but it is possible for a pitcher to stay relatively sharp even though he doesn't pitch, unlike a hitter. A hitter's got to see live hitting, live pitching, and get his timing down. But a pitcher, he can throw on the side and stay sharp. And see his numbers. He made a start back in 2016 in the division series.
Brantley with a bouncer to the shifted Howie Kendrick, who's in the right place to get him. Nothing comes of the leadoff walk. A scoreless first by emergency starter Joe Ross.